Katie O'Hagan, everybody. Katie! We
Hello.
are live. You can hear me all good?
I can. You're good.
Beautiful. How are you today, Katie?
Very good. Very good.
You are a freaking legend. Let me just get straight off the bat. I don't know how you do it, but both games you're just so convincing. I tell you what.
Thank you. I still am blown away by everything. So,
Really?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Between the two games and just how excited everyone's been about everything and the way the story continued. I mean, it's been a whirlwind. That's for sure.
So you didn't know anything about Resident Evil when you signed up to this, did you?
No, I mean, I grew up 80s, 90s. So like I knew of Resident Evil, of course. The first game I was in like grade school when it came out. So I knew about it. But I was not a big gamer. As Sarah likes to say, we're gamer adjacent. I am so impressed with everyone who plays and can get through a game and can handle everything. I am not. I'm good at watching. I will cheer you on. I will be excited for you. But I'm a hot mess when I attempt any of these games. So I knew about it. But when I actually signed, when I got the role, I had no idea it was Resident Evil. It took quite some time before I realized what I was involved in. But for eight, I got to know right away. So I kind of had the inside scoop.
When you say right away, like straight after seven, or what?
No, no, no. So it was a couple years after
Oh.
seven that I got a phone call from the producer saying they were bringing Mia back and they wanted to know if I would reprise the role. And of course, I said yes. There
Yeah.
was really no
Yeah, no, I'll
thought
think
about
about it.
it.
I'll get back to you.
Exactly. I'll see, maybe.
Can fit it
Like
in the
it was the
schedule, yeah.
coolest role I've ever played. I was like, yeah, I'm 100% in. So it was cool because they were like, yeah, you and Todd, Ethan are coming back. So obviously we knew it was Resident Evil because it's our characters, but a lot of the other actors, I don't know if they knew or not. Because for seven, we didn't know for a good couple of months or so. Until a table read that we realized, oh, wow, this is what we've been working on the whole time. So,
So I remember, was there a demo back in the day of Resident Evil?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, the kitchen
The
was the
kitchen. What a
Resident
great
Evil
demo.
7 demo. Yeah. So, that was actually the first thing I ever worked on. So, that was really, really cool. I got to work with two different actors on that one. And, I just thought I was doing this like super creepy, demonic, chick who chops people's heads off and crawls around and makes lots of noises. Like
Which is a part of it.
it was cool. I mean, it was cool. I was totally all about it. And they told us it was just a demo and they definitely thinking back, it's like, holy cow, how did I not know? But they were like, so we're just doing this little thing and maybe it'll become like a bigger game. So we'll let you know. So I did the demo and it was like a few months later that they were like, yeah, we're doing the full game. Like
Come
you
on
come back
back.
in with this character. And I was like, all right, cool. So I was pretty clueless, but I don't know. I think that kind of helps when you're not intimidated by the scope of everything. I think if I
Mm.
knew off the bat it was Resident Evil, maybe I would have been like a little bit more nervous or, yeah, I just think it opened it up to just an ease with all the actors. None of us really knew. So it was like we were all just having fun, having a good time, working on this crazy mocap.
So you weren't nervous going in. This is your first video game project.
It
Motion
was.
capture, like surely there's got to be
Yeah.
some nerves.
I mean, I think because it was the first ever motion capture, like straight from the get-go, from the audition, um I kind of said like, F it, I'm just gonna go crazy. Because my first audition was specifically for the possessed demonic crazy part. So I think in order to throw yourself into that, you kind of have to not think about it, not be nervous, don't be embarrassed, just do it. And that's what I did. It was like go in there. I was, I didn't totally know what I was going out for. So like I looked all cute and I had a pair of like boot heels on for an audition. And I got in there and I had to take like my shoes off so I could
Mm.
like crawl around and run and do crazy things. And it was well worth it. But yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
I just kind of threw inhibition out the window and went for it. I got home and was like, okay, that was the craziest audition I've ever been involved in. Like, that was so much fun. I have no idea, but that was cool.
So you didn't, were you confident that you were like, oh, I've
No,
nailed it? No, not at all.
no.
Really?
I don't know if any actors are confident after an audition.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like anytime I'm confident, I don't get it. So it's almost better when I'm not confident.
Yeah.
I just kind of left it being like, I have no idea. Like, I'll just have to wait and see. Because they also, in that time, had mentioned that they might have two different actors playing Mia, one normal, one possessed. So it was kind of like in the very beginning, everything was okay, audition for this, see what happens, wait, hear something. I got a call that they wanted to bring me back for another audition for a little bit more normal version of Mia. So I went in for that. And yeah, it was like, oh, she can be normal also. Like we like her crazy, but look at this. She can be normal. Awesome. She can do both. So
Well, this game in particular got to really test out your acting skills, didn't you? All sorts
yeah.
of
And
things.
like I don't want to spoil things for people because I know a lot of people have jumped in and so many people have played it already, but I still know a lot of people who are only like halfway through and still don't know. And I don't want to spoil things. So if you don't know things, just plug your ears right now. Uh, but I was actually really excited. As much as I loved being that crazy Mia and getting to like chainsaw hands off and have that zombie demonic growl and laugh and all that stuff. This was so different. Like from the moment I got my scenes, I was like, oh, I get to like really dive in. Like I
Mm.
get to like really create like this person with feelings and emotion and see what happens. And I just remember during some of the scenes at the end, I definitely I teared up. Like I was emotional shooting those scenes. And even now watching them, I get like teary-eyed again because it's just so much time and effort was put into this game and these characters. It's been, gosh, 6 years now, that
Mm.
between 7 and 8, like 6 years of getting to be Mia has been just unbelievable.
So when you say you teared up, how do you get to that place? Because that's got to be difficult.
I mean, I think when, at least for this, there was so much like these characters have become so important. And, Todd and I worked together on so much in 7, and then getting to work together again on 8 was great. Being able to do that again. And we built like a friendship. We built this, great relationship on set. And we had that chemistry where, it felt real. The heartache, the heartbreak, the pain, like it's all there. And then also as an actor, you pull things in out of, your real life possibly. And, things that maybe you went through in your past where you can remember how you felt back then or when something happened to you. And so when you're in these scenes, you kind of have that knowledge already of what it was like, what you remember, how that felt, and it just kind of builds up and comes out. It just pours out sometimes.
Yeah, if everyone that doesn't know, Todd is obviously Ethan Winters from the game, and the bastard won't come on the show. You've got to convince him for me, Katie.
He is private. I
Yeah, I
know.
know.
I think we're all kind of talking to him like maybe one little thing, maybe something. So we'll see. We'll
Okay.
see what this year brings.
Yeah. What's it like working with him?
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He actually reminds me a lot of like my brothers and stuff. So we got along so well from the get go. Like he's, a Midwest guy. And I'm from the Midwest. So I think we always had that. We always had like a football rivalry. So we just got along right off the bat. It was always really comfortable just hanging and talking. And, with seven, things very different than filming with eight because of COVID. But with seven, there was a lot more downtime where you could hang out and chat and work on stuff. And then with eight, half of the filming was pre-COVID. So you still got some of that. And then COVID hit and things kind of went crazy. But we got through it and we were able to do more. But it was a bit, it was just a little bit more like spread out and stuff, which was good. It made me feel safe on set, being able to do these things. But you didn't get that intimacy of like really getting to hang out with people again. So I missed that a little bit, but next time, hopefully.
I'm going to stroke your ego a little bit here. Mariah says, hands down, Katie is the best voice actress in 7 and 8.
Oh, thank you. That's
Katie,
incredibly sweet.
Katie, you are amazing. That's from Barbara.
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
Mr. YG says, love you, Katie. Zim says, question for Katie, what's the difference when you first started to now with Mia?
Okay. Like compared to now, I'm guessing.
I mean, yeah, when you first started playing the character to now, I guess what's the difference for you?
I think she grew up. I think she matured. With 7, like original Mia, you had that that pull and push of crazy, possessed by Evelyn, and then fighting it. She knew she messed up, but she still was like, what do I do now? Like I'm stuck. But with 8, it seemed like she grew up. Mia and Ethan have a baby now. They have a life. Like it seems like she just matured. And I felt that in the script. I felt that in my scenes. I felt like that motherly and wife role was there. Whereas I feel like in 7, she was more selfish. I know a lot of people out there are very torn on Mia, not liking her because she caused a lot of things to happen. I blame the company, not the person. Capitalism.
Yeah.
So yeah, like with 7, she was definitely selfish. She got this job, didn't really tell her husband what it was. Then she disappears, causes a lot of drama. Not all of it her fault, but a lot of it her fault. And in 8, it just feels like there was more. I'm gonna protect my family. I just want to have this life and love this life and be done with all of that. And if you play the game, you see how that worked out. So
we've got some really good questions in here. I'll try to get to them all, guys.
yeah.
So we've got one here from JS says, which one do you prefer, 7 or 8? Oh, that's tough. Love from Ireland.
That's so tough. And I've had a couple of people ask me this, and I'm going to be honest, I don't have a preference because the 2 games were so different. They linked up, characters and stuff, but the games themselves were so different. And I got to play so many different personalities and emotions all within one character. So as an actor, that was like the coolest thing for me, to take one character and be able to literally do the whole spectrum of.
You really have, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's crazy now that I'm thinking about it. Like you've done everything in 2 games.
Between 7 and 8, it's like, babysitter, crazy company, crazy person, possessed, normal, fighting, dying, coming back to life. And then all of a sudden 8, it's like, oh, now I'm a sweet wife again. And now I'm a mother. And like, it's just so much stuff.
So now I'm excited for 9. What are they going to make you do in 9, hey?
Oh God, if they asked me back for that, I I jump for
Well,
joy.
they must. They're going to have to. It wouldn't be the same without you, really.
Capcom's amazing. Their storytelling, what they've been able to do, how they revamped the franchise and brought the horror back. Like, I think I'm most proud to be a part of that. I'm a big horror junkie to begin with, so finding out that I was part of the Resident Evil game that went back to its roots was pretty badass.
So
So.
take your Capcom employee hat off, or where would you take it? Where would you take 9?
Oh gosh.
Would you make it Rose as the playable character? You reckon? That's what I think. That's where I think they'll go.
um I mean, the way they leave the way they leave the to be continued on 8
Yeah.
definitely feels like that. Let me just put it this way. Again, spoilers, so plug your ears, people. I I was just happy not to see a Mia tombstone in the graveyard.
I
Because I
know.
honestly,
No.
when the first scene I shot was the Mia Chris Ethan scene in the very, very beginning of the
It
game.
was, yeah.
And I didn't know that I thought that was the end of Mia. I didn't
Oh,
know
you did
originally.
not.
When I first got the scene, because they don't give you the whole script, you just get scenes. And I was actually at my sister's wedding, so I missed the table read. So I would have known, but I unfortunately had to miss the table read because I was at my sister's wedding. And so I was just kind of bummed out. I was like, oh man, like so cool to do 7. And then I just get killed off right away in 8. Like that kind of blows, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with the story and why. So I just kind of went for it. And halfway through the day of shooting,
Oh, that's
I was
cool.
I was filled in.
Oh,
Oh, well,
yo.
I don't even know if they realized because everybody else knew because they were at the table read, but I just happened to miss it. And
Oh, they didn't
luckily
know
I
that
was
you
filled
knew.
in.
That you didn't know.
I don't think they realized I didn't know that. So
Ah.
it was a little bit into the first day. It was before, like, we had shot like one little thing and then we had some downtime, and I was filled in and I go, oh, that makes so much more sense. Cause I was like, why is she acting like this towards Ethan? Like, she's kind of being like
A bit
weird. And
interesting,
then,
yeah.
yeah. And then it all clicked and I was like, I get it.
I want to ask you more about that scene, but I've got a super chat. Thank you, Ali. Says, I'm playing RE Village right now on the hardest difficulty. Ooh, good luck.
Oh, good luck.
Gnome, it's not. Says, Mia for president.
Ah! I'll play one on TV or in a video game.
Thank you, Gnome. Mitchie says, can Katie say, Je bois les gloomy. Oh, I can't even. You know the start, the dish that you're cooking. How do you
Oh
pronounce that?
god.
I can't even say it. Embarrassing.
It took I still don't think I can say it. I would have to like hear it again. I think it's Chiorba de legume,
Oh,
I
that sounds
believe.
pretty good. That
But
sounds pretty good.
I when we were recording and doing that scene, I said it so many times and I listened to stuff online of how people say it and I thought I had it down, and then I got there and I did it, and like the first time I said it, like there were chuckles and I'm like, all right, I obviously said this wrong. So yeah, we had to do it quite a few times just because I could not, there was something I was missing. I don't know if it was like an accent or what, but I was missing something within that name. And if anybody can say it correctly, please DM me a video because I was
I
lost.
think you got it in the end. Paige says, does Katie have a favorite scene of all the games that she's?
Oh, now it's like with 8, like I have a lot of favorite scenes. Actually, it's kind of crazy. One of my favorite scenes that we shot got cut, which I was so bummed because
Of
they just
8?
revamped of 8. Yeah. One of my
No.
favorite scenes. I was like, I was super bummed, but ultimately once I saw kind of what they did with the game and where it went, I was like, okay, it makes sense. Like I get why
It
they
didn't
took
work.
that out. Yeah, well, it was kind of like it took it a different route. So I totally got why they did it,
Hmm.
but I enjoyed shooting it. But yeah, so with seven, I would say my screwdriver chainsaw scene with Ethan is my favorite. That was a lot of fun because I got to be all sweet and then crazy and then fight like
So
everything.
that's all
Uh,
you.
yeah, yeah. So I had the chainsaw with Todd. I had the screwdriver, doing the weird flip up, all the magic of motion capture. We were able to jerry rig things and have hidden people help us. And
Jerry
then
rig. What's that mean? Sorry to cut you off.
jerry rig is like when you create something like kind of pull something together like a mishmash like okay we got to figure out how to make this work, let's try this and this, like the scene where Sarah and I are under the house and Marguerite
Hmm.
drags me and I'm screaming. We're in motion capture suits, so there's little dots all over, so if you were really dragging somebody with the camera on their head and the dots, stuff could get ruined. So it was like a mat that you went on that got pulled by people you couldn't see once it was in the game. So it was just kind of cool to get to see the behind the scenes of everything.
So they're
I
not
see it.
they're not wearing any dots, are they? Those guys. They're just in black
Correct.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still to this day like blown away by how motion capture works. Like everybody who works on it from the computer side and the cameras and the sound, like there are so many people involved. It's incredible. The amount of different things that all have to come together for them to be able to create these games. Like I had no idea until I was actually on set and there.
So do you fly to Japan to do it, or do it in LA, or what?
No, these two games were done in LA. Yeah,
They are.
seven
Yeah, I
and
thought
eight.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I don't know. I think some of the other games might have been
Mm.
in one or the other.
As in
But
the
seven and eight,
remakes.
all my stuff was done in the
Okay.
States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That would have
John,
been a nice trip though.
have you ever been? Have you ever been before?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
worked for Tokyo Disneyland for a year, and then my husband played basketball in Osaka for a year, so I lived there 2 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Wow. Have you ever been to
pretty
Australia?
cool. Not yet. One of my best friends, Magenta, what's up? She is actually originally from Australia, so she lives here now. But when she's able to go back, we talk about going to visit and stay because that is like top on my list of places to go.
So you know how to do the accent then perfectly.
The Australian accent?
Yeah.
No, no. I've tried. It's pathetic. I won't even attempt because you will make fun of me and mine. 100%. I'm the person that it becomes Irish or
It becomes
Scottish. Like
Irish.
like
It usually
you
becomes
try.
British for a lot of people.
Well, I do. I have family in Ireland. I'm a dual citizen, so it's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like Irish is a little easier for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
But yeah,
Uh,
I'll start. It's like Jamaican. Like I'll start it and then it's like, nope, that went a totally different route. I don't know what happened.
Paige here says, "Thank you so much for answering my question, Katie. You're awesome." Um, okay. So now I'm gonna go back to that scene because I've got some questions. So
Yeah.
that opening scene, that was the first scene you shot, and you didn't get any direction on you're actually not Mia. You didn't even know. You didn't even get that direction.
Well, I did like at some point. So we had shot a small part of it and I didn't know. I wish I could remember because it's been a while now. But we did kind of like one little part of the scene and I didn't know. And then by the time we went back, I want to say the scene where I'm reading the book to Rose
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of snapping oddly at Ethan, like it's a little weird. By then I knew. So there was a little more knowledge of, you're trying to be her, but technically you're not her. So there was trying to find that balance. But also it's like I don't even know if they wanted me to know because they wanted her to feel like Mia. They want her to be Mia. She is Mia. And I think we found a good balance. Like, yeah, she snaps, but I think
You don't
from
know.
when the trailer came out, I don't think anybody knew because everybody was like, R.I.P. Mia.
But it's such a great way to do a trailer and to show that off. It just gets you so intrigued. They did the marketing
Oh,
so well
they
for this
love their
game.
twists, man. It was like, let's put this out here and see what happens.
So is the baby Rose? What's that on set? Is that just a?
It was a baby doll. Yeah.
It's
So
just
we
a
actually
baby
had like a
doll.
baby doll. Now, every time I worked with Rose, it was always a baby doll. But I think they use just sometimes like a sack or something like that for different actors or scenes with her. But yeah, the scenes that I had with her, it was always like a little baby doll we got to work with.
So is it cool to reunite with Todd for that? Like for the first time since the first game, and for
What
that
was that
scene?
you
For that
you
scene,
you cut out?
was it good to reunite with Todd for that scene
Oh
and
yeah.
moving forward? Yeah.
No, it was fantastic. Like it was so cool. It was so good to see him. And I also really appreciated this story gave Ethan so much more because I feel like there was way too much Ethan hate in Seven. Like, I don't know why, but like they're like, oh, he's not doing anything. He's a wimp, whatever. And I'm like, he has no training and he's still trying to save his psycho wife. Like, appreciate where appreciation needs to go. But with 8, I just feel like they made him such a badass. Like he got to do so much more. And his personality, I feel like, got to come out a little bit more. So
Well, I want to know why did Capcom hate his hands so much?
I think we all want to know that. He has very nice hands. I mean, it's mainly what I acted with anytime he was doing things.
Yeah, it must be weird for him because he never shows his face, does he? You know,
The
he's the
only
character.
time I think I don't know in 8 because I haven't seen like everything. So you guys let me know if you ever get to see his face. I think in 7 you catch his face in a reflection at one point. That's like the only time that you get to see his face.
I know. How funny.
Like people had to like catch it and pause at just the right point and like catch Ethan's reflection.
Yeah. Sathark says, "How long did it take to do your scenes for 8?"
For 8, I mean, it was similar to 7 where it like was spread out. So, it would be. I feel like I worked over 2 year. Yeah, over 2 years. So 2019 was when we started, and then 2020 we worked on it more. Um, and I went in, for a couple of days, like sporadically throughout like the years. So maybe a total of like 2 weeks worth of doing things, 3 weeks, including like ADR.
Yeah, so you
But
do some ADR and booth work.
yeah, yeah. So we're doing the motion capture on the stage, so we're acting out all the scenes, but not everything gets picked up perfectly on the mics. So especially when you're doing fight scenes or scenes, with other noises around, or sometimes just something didn't, record correctly.
Mm.
So then we would go back in the ADR booth and fix up stuff or add something to it. Or for me, keep repeating Chiorba de Legume because I couldn't get it right. So who knows what take they actually took of that one.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, and also all the efforts. So like a lot of efforts are usually done in ADR. So you'll do like a whole day of just
Moaning and
doing
screaming and
the noises. It's like, oh, you're fighting somebody, but you're tired. You're fighting somebody at a normal rate. You're fighting somebody and you're crazy. So it's like you're punching at this level, you're jumping at that level. So you're doing all the noises.
trying to think.
you
Yeah,
you come to realize how many noises you can make doing these movements, which a little different, a little different.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Would you did you have any efforts in this game? I'm trying to remember.
There were in the first scene when I'm getting shot up by Chris.
Yep.
So those were some fun efforts to do in the booth.
I think I've seen some behind the scenes of that. Do you fall onto a mat? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a mat on the ground waiting for me. So we did a couple of different versions, and you kind of see it was definitely weird though. They're like, so you got to move like you're getting hit X amount of times. And then once you're on the ground, you get shot X amount of times. So it was like trying to match the
I see. Go
shot
one, two,
with
three. One, two,
movement.
three. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like there and it's like, like the Godfather. Like you're just
um, Crimson Head podcast, which I think you've been on
oh
before.
yeah, I've been on them. Hey
They
guys.
said, "Can you tell the story where you smashed your head onto the wall and broke your camera?" I don't know this story.
Uh, well, there were two different crazy stories. So the one where I broke the I didn't break the camera. I broke the arm that connected the camera to the helmet. So
Hold on, the
this is
motion capture helmet.
yeah. So Sarah and I were doing the scene under the house, and I went to kick her, and the motion capture ball on my knee caught onto the little arm, and when I kicked, it yanked it off the helmet, and all of a sudden I was like, literally, Sarah and I both froze, and it was just like dangling there, and we both were like, "Are we gonna get fired? Like, what's happening?" So
Oh
that
no.
was that was pretty nerve-wracking, but luckily it was the arm and not the actual camera. So I was like, oh, thank you to the motion capture gods, because I don't even want to know the cost of the camera if I broke that. And then the other scene was in Seven, when Mia's banging her head after she has been attacking Ethan, and she starts banging her head against the wall, saying how she's got the voices in her head and she just wants them out. So she hits her head 3 times, and I shot that scene quite a few times. And one of the times, the third hit's supposed to be really big, and then I fall to the ground, and I swung too hard, and my voice pack, the Velcro, like unattached, and it flung up and hit me in the face as I went down.
Oh my god. I've never
So I
heard
had
this in the motion. You're one of the first I've heard these sort of stories.
yeah, I get really into it, I guess. I need to
No,
like
that's
reel
good.
it back. Yeah,
No.
so the pack flew up into my face, and I had a little baby swollen lip for a little bit, but I mean nothing terrible. Like we
Battle
kept going.
scars. Battle scars,
What?
hey?
Yeah, battle scar.
Ether says, Katie, what was it like wearing the motion capture equipment and staying in character? Is that a tough thing to do?
8, not as much, because I had done it before, so I
Hmm.
knew what I was getting myself into. 7, like the first day on set was really weird. The suit itself is basically spandex. So I don't know how many men or women out there love wearing a solid spandex suit. It is not
Not
it's
flattering.
not something people choose to wear usually, but they're comfy. It's just they're all
Oh, they
spandex.
are
And then
comfy.
this little,
They don't
yeah,
give you
they
wedgies.
actually are pretty comfy. And then you have the little balls all over you. And then depending on, you know, what type of motion capture you're doing, like sometimes I had reflectors all over my face, other times I had the helmet with the camera. So it always varied. And it was hard getting used to like knowing your body, knowing your movements, because you're surrounded on a stage with all these cameras. I don't know how any of that works. So it was a lot of learning and them letting me know, like, oh, you can't do this, or you have to be careful of that. Your body can't go this way. So it was a learning process for sure. But it was getting used to that. And then once you have the helmet with the camera on, it's getting used to how close you can be to other actors so the cameras don't hit. And also you have a camera with a really bright light, like inches from your face, like up your nose, so you kind of have to, again, not be embarrassed. You just have to
Mm.
do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very different. It takes getting used to, but once you're used to it and you just kind of let stuff go, it's so much fun. It's actually like what I prefer to do now. I mean, I'm an actor, like I'll do anything. But
It's your
motion
favorite.
capture, motion capture is now my favorite for
So do you
sure.
want to do more games if you
Oh,
got
I
the
would love
chance?
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Motion capture is so much fun. Like the physicality, the acting, it melds theater and film in my mind. It very much so melded the two. And I grew up doing theater and then switched to film. So motion capture and video games just kind of brought my two worlds together. And I was like, this is magical.
Well,
So
you've got a lot of hours in the volume, don't you?
yeah,
Now you've racked up a
yeah,
few hours. So
definitely.
there wouldn't be that many people with that many hours that you've put in. You know what I mean? In the world, I wouldn't have thought you'd be
I
in some elite
know.
company. It's only
That's
been around
pretty
for 10
cool.
years. It's only been around for 10 years. So,
I'm like, that's kind of amazing to hear.
Blame says, I finally made her live. She looks a lot like Mia. I actually, don't they have another face model for Mia?
Yeah, so the face model who I believe they use the same face model. I just think, since it's been years later, they because she doesn't look exactly the same, but then again, in seven, she's been missing and basically in a dungeon for 3 years, so she doesn't look the greatest. And then in eight, it's what, 3 years later again. So she's now like older and more mature. And it looks like she finally got real food again and had a baby. So she looks more human.
Yeah, yeah. So
I love her.
did they give you any backstory or anything before you took on this character, or did you have to make your own up, or what?
You kind of with you kind of created a bit of your own with the scenes you got, and
Hmm.
then during table reads you would get a little bit more. So
Okay.
you didn't get a ton, but
No.
you definitely got enough to be able to create, know who you're interacting with, know what's going on ultimately, like within the scenes and the games. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Survivor Dog says, "What is your favorite character in Resident Evil?"
Like
Or who is? Sorry,
overall,
who is?
oof, who
Yeah,
is?
it's a tough one.
That's really tough. Now I have to think. There's so many games. I mean, Chris is kind of awesome. I do like Chris, and I do like where eight takes him.
Mm.
So I do
Bit of a
with
badass.
yeah, like he's a badass. He's kind of been around the block. He thinks he's with this great company, and I don't know if it really is. Uh, so yeah, I really like Chris. I think Chris Redfield is kind of impressive, but I also love Marguerite from Seven. Like
But
she's
that's because you
cuckoo.
love Sarah. Come
Well,
on.
everybody loves Sarah, but Marguerite was
No,
fun.
she's awesome.
Marguerite was
She
a
knocks it out of the park.
kook.
Yeah.
She was just, and especially, it probably is because I know Sarah and Marguerite's so different from Sarah.
Mm, mm.
So seeing those two, it's like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it like working with Jeff Shine, who plays Chris Redfield? Because you most of your scenes were with him, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was great. This was the first time I got to work with him.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was really great. It was cool. Like his voice is so distinct, and his stature, like his physicality, just the way he moves and he was in character, it definitely made scenes that much easier, as an actor working with somebody who just embodies the other character. So when we're doing scenes together, like we had talked earlier, definitely get more emotional in this game. And it was easier to have that like snappy reaction and be more emotional and be mad and shout at Chris because of what I was getting. I'm getting that kind of cold voice. I mean, like I can't even describe. Like everybody knows he just has that like Chris Redfield, like just very straight voice of here are the facts and this is what we're doing. Like let's get out of here. So yeah, it was, he made it very easy, all of the scenes that we did.
Can you tell he's a professional when he's in the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's been around the block.
Definitely, definitely. But at the same time, he was also like a kook. So, the scene where he basically kills me, when we were shooting that stuff, in between takes and when like everybody's just hanging out, sitting, and he's a bit of like a jokester and like just a cool dude. And that's kind of how everybody is. And that's what was so fun about working on both of these games. Everybody, no matter how professional or big they are within this world, everybody was just so chill and so cool and welcoming and like teaching things to other people. Like it's just a great franchise. And for me, these two games, like I just learned so much from so many of the other actors, voice and motion capture. So, I mean, I learned a lot. So hopefully it'll take me into other stuff with motion capture.
I've got him on tomorrow. Is there anything I
Nice.
should say to him from you? Anything you want to let him know?
I think my line from Seven, that fucking hurt. Uncalled for. I mean, jeez, it might not have been me, but it still hurt deep inside. So
Hey, you got some nice scenes after the death scene.
I
So
did.
he
I did.
got the redemption.
Yeah.
Baron says, I could listen to Katie's voice for hours. What a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of people here saying, will you be in Resident Evil 9?
I don't
You'd
even
love
know if there
to.
is one. Like I was.
You'd love to be.
I would love to be. I'll let you know after it comes out if I am or not. So
Jack here says, did you get to meet the entire cast of this one before you started
I
recording or during or what?
I did not. I blame COVID because with Seven, even scenes I didn't work on with people, I still got to meet the whole cast. And if I would have made the table read, I would have met everybody. So that was still my bad. I blame my sister. Not really.
You can't miss that. Come on.
I can't miss her wedding. I was a maid of honor. Can't
Can't
really.
really miss your sister's wedding. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be bad. That would be
no.
bad. So unfortunately, I got to meet a good chunk of people, but COVID hit and a lot of scheduling had to get reworked and changed around. So I don't know if I would have met everybody at some point or not. But ultimately, it was just very specific of like, okay, you're with X person in this scene. So that's the only ones who are going to be here shooting that day. So I did not get to meet many people. I got to, I mean, obviously, Chris, Mother Miranda, Ethan. So there were a handful of people here and there. But now that it's out and we're doing a lot more streams and other things, I'm meeting more and more of the other actors, which has been really fun to finally feel like, we're in the same game. Yay, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, who's your favorite out of the villains? I've asked this to everyone. Have you seen all the cutscenes they're in yet or not?
I have not seen everything.
Ooh.
I think next week I'm still waiting to hear officially, but I believe next week I'm gonna be doing something where I get to actually watch
With
the
Nicole
game being
or
played.
what?
No. I would
No.
love to do it with Nicole. Hit me up. I had so much fun doing Seven with her. That was a blast. So yeah, Eight would be really cool to do again. But yeah, I've had some other people reach out. So I'm kind of waiting to see when it's going to happen and if,
Okay.
and then I'll let everybody know. So I'll get to watch it play. So I'll finally be able to see everything. As of right now, it's only been bits and pieces, but I mean, Lady D is kind of awesome. She's pretty phenomenal, but I also have a thing for like horror dolls. So Angie, and the whole dollhouse, like that's pretty terrifying and awesome. So I'm a big
Have you
fan.
seen that
Yeah.
section of the game? Have you seen the monster that lies within there?
No, I've just
Oh
seen like
my
little
goodness.
little clips. So yeah,
Okay,
I'm
you're in
I'm
for a
I'm gonna
treat
learn a
then.
lot.
You're in
Don't
for
ruin
a
it for
treat.
me.
No, I won't ruin it, but just Bring a nappy or something because you
Oh
might shit
no.
yourself. I know I did, but I played it at like 2 a.m. and well, it's not a good idea to play that section at
Yeah,
2 a.m.
no,
with headphones
no.
on in the dark.
Oh God.
Yeah. uh, um, Question for Katie. You've been both a protagonist and an antagonist. Which is your favorite of the two?
I love me a villain. I
Do
love
ya?
being evil. I love being a villain. I Yeah, I mean, the whole reason I even auditioned for this was because I saw a casting call looking for like a crazy, possessed, demonic woman. And it just was like, yes, I need to get an audition for this. Um, so in seven, that's what pulled me in, getting the audition, getting to crawl around like a crazy zombie monster and scare the director. Like it was just so much fun. Just all the voices. Like I love doing the gurgling and the scratchy and all that stuff because you just don't expect it. I like when a crew is surprised by what comes out of my mouth.
Because it's a little bit of improvising, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have your script and you have your lines, but
But that
you
sort
got to
of
feel
movement and stuff is sort of,
the.
yeah.
You got to fill that in between, especially
Mm.
when you're trying to scare somebody from a distance without them actually seeing you. So you're just like, what creepy things can I do? Can I sound like? How can I scare people in the dark? So,
So, what was
yeah.
your reaction when you saw your villainous self?
Oh, I was like, somebody needs to go see a dermatologist. Like, ooh. She when she gets all like
uh,
veiny and she just starts
oh,
screaming
no.
and what I notice whenever she gets like that craziness, she loves to animation wise, they just love to get that nice close up of just like, yeah, it's
But it's all you. It's all you, right? That's all your facial
I mean,
animation.
it is.
Yeah.
And that's the weirdest part. The first time I saw all of seven and
Mm.
saw, everything, I was seeing my facial movements, my body movements, and hearing my voice on another woman's body and face. It was so trippy. Because I was like, that's my tick, that's my little quirk, but it's on a different person's face. Like, what is happening?
It must be surreal. It must be surreal.
Very
Uh,
much so.
Jay says, your performance as Mia was such a standout, made me so invested. Your chemistry with Todd was so believable. What's he like to work with? I guess we already answered that, but Jay,
He's
thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Katie appreciates the kind words.
Yes.
Kings just says hi. Hi, Katie.
Hi. Nice and easy.
Nice and
Hi.
easy. Greensome. Hi, Katie. Just wanted to say that you look amazing today and you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Blessed. Any future projects down the line, Katie? Movies, games, makeup artist work. Love your work.
Oh, thank you. Slowly getting back into things with the world opening back up. So nothing that I can flat out announce as of yet. So I always tell people I am really big on interacting with people on social media. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I try
Make sure you
to
follow
respond.
this woman,
Yeah.
guys, on Instagram.
I
I've got it in the
Katie
description.
Oax.
Katie Oax, yeah. It's in the
Yeah.
description.
So I definitely try to interact. Like if people DM me, I try to answer as many as I can back.
Hmm.
I might get back to you a little late, but I try very hard to get back to everybody. So I'm always updating that with makeup, with acting, auditions, life, just a little bit of everything. So just I just did some modeling stuff. So those crazy pictures will be up soon, and hopefully I'll be doing some makeup stuff and then acting. Yeah,
I saw you recently going on some adventures.
yeah.
Where have you been going? Hiking and stuff.
Yeah, so I just had my birthday a little bit ago and I
Happy birthday.
decided,
Happy
oh,
21st.
yay, I'll take it.
uh,
30, da, 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 yeah.
not a day over
Um,
30.
exactly. Uh, I really just wanted to do something, get out of town, go out into nature. I love hiking. I love the national parks. So I've always wanted to go to Zion. So we decided to head out there. I grew up like legit camping. And so for my birthday, I was like, I kind of want to be a brat and I want to try glamping. I'd never done
Yeah.
it before. I always was on like a small little mat like on the bottom of the tent, hoping it didn't rain. So glamping was a little different, and it was really fancy and really
Hold on.
cool.
So,
So
what's your version of glamping?
glamping, it was a safari tent that we were in, and it was huge. But inside the tent, it had a king size bed,
Oh,
like a
okay. Yeah, you're
legit.
really glamping.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I had never
That's
seen anything
amazing.
like this before.
That's
It had
cool.
a kitchenette, it had air conditioning and heating,
Oh,
it had
okay.
a
You might as well go home.
the only thing that made it camping-esque was you were in a tent. So like you would hear the zipper to shut the tent and he was like, "Oh, I'm camping." And then you could hear all the animals and the tent would
Yeah.
move around because of the wind. So that was the only thing that made it
How big is this
camping-esque.
tent?
Oh, it was huge.
It must be huge.
It had a bathroom in it. I've
Oh
never
my
seen anything like
goodness.
this.
I need to see
I've
this. I need
never.
to see this. You need to
Oh,
send
it
me
was
a
incredible.
photo if
Check
you've
out.
got
It was
one.
where did we go? East Zion Resorts. It was so
Okay.
cool. It's outside of Zion. So it stayed there for a couple of nights and then we'd go into the park and we went hiking. So we hiked the Narrows, which was amazing. My knees
Oh,
are still
yeah.
recovering, but it was amazing.
Oh, I can imagine. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy. Uh, Goku, thank you very much, mate. Summon a Dragon. Hi, I'm Christina from Chile. I love Mia. She's one of my favorite characters. I do feel bad that she couldn't raise Rose with Ethan, though. Can
Yeah.
Katie say in Mia's voice, you don't understand how special he is? Pretty please.
We'll go. Let's see here. Um, you don't understand how special he is.
You just switched. I thought I was in the game then. Oh my goodness. You just did something with your face and you just
It's
go
the
into it.
full.
Wow.
I'm telling you, these characters become a part of you. You do it
Yeah.
so long.
Mm. If they said we've got Resi 9 right now, come on in tomorrow, you could just switch it on, couldn't you? You'd be ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a part of me. She'll always be a part of me. Like,
It's going to be
yeah.
hard though to top her in future projects. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a special place.
And not only that, but like all the relationships I made with
Mm.
everyone I worked with. I mean, I became actual friends with a lot of these people and hang
Mm.
out outside of this stuff. And that's not always the case with acting. Like a lot of times you book something, you meet them on set, you work together, and then you never talk to them again. And that stinks because, of course, I love meeting people who are in the same industry and having something in common. So this was a really cool opportunity to get to work with so many people who I actually made connections with and like
Mm.
wanted to hang out with them and continue a relationship. So yeah, it's gonna be hard. And like I've told Todd this, he's like ruined me for any other video game husbands. Like I don't know if I'll ever find another video game husband that was as amazing as he was.
Uh, I've heard that a lot actually. How good he was to work with. The bastard won't come
Mhm.
on my show. Oh, bloody hell, Todd, if you're listening. Um, Yo-Yo Skull, got a question. I noticed in the mocap you didn't land on the table as Mia, but in the game you did. Why was that? Would it mess up the tracking?
I'm not sure. Like we did many takes of it. So
Yeah.
there were all different takes. I know like what they released doesn't show it. I'm not sure on their end, like which take they took, what they added, what yeah, it's such a different world to me. I'd love to learn more about it because it's so impressive. But yeah, that's on like the mocap animation computer side. So
Oh,
they take everything we do on the acting side and then piece it all together and make this amazing product that you guys get to play.
isn't it crazy how they do it?
It's so crazy.
Gone by says, any embarrassing moments during this game that you can think of?
Well, trying to pronounce that stupid food. That was probably the worst for me. I think 7 breaking things and hurting myself, of course, are embarrassing. But yeah, 8 trying to pronounce that and just failing miserably multiple times was probably the most embarrassing.
Do Mia or Katie have anything in common?
I feel like the sense of family that she has in 8. I definitely have that. Very close ties with my family, and that that feeling of I'll do anything for my family. I think me and I are very similar in that way. I just want to protect. I have that kind of motherly instinct of like, I just want to protect my family, my friends. You mess with them, you mess with me. So I think
Yeah, girl.
I feel like
That's
me and
it.
I have that in common.
I'm so far behind in this chat, but everyone's going, wow, amazing when you just did that line before. They couldn't
Oh,
believe how good
thank
it was.
you.
Goosebumps. Amazing. Wow.
Oh.
Incredible. Really nice. I mean, that was incredible. I tell you what, I could go on all day.
I'm blushing. You guys are amazing.
Edmund here says, I have a question for Katie. Will you be watching Resident Evil Infinite Darkness?
Yes, I'm so excited, especially now, like since doing ROECon last year, we did like panels. So I got to actually chat with and talk to a lot of the other actors from other games that I never met. So it was really cool to get to know them. And that was announced. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I know, even though we're actors doing this stuff, we still get all excited and starstruck. We're like, oh, I know the person who's doing the voice on this new show. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah, so that's very excited for them. And I'm just excited to see. I'm excited that they're actually taking like the video game and doing like the video game stories and doing it versus what they did with the movies, which was kind of go off on its own
Mm,
thing.
mm, mm. No. Well, now
Yeah.
you said it before that you're a horror fan. Give us some
Yes.
of your favorite horrors and movies.
Um, so again, child of like the 80s. So I am like um Jason and Freddy.
Oh, the
Like you give me,
classics.
yeah, you give me classics. You give me old school horror, and it'll scare the crap out of me. Like to this day, if I watch like Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, like I watch any
Slashers.
of those, like the slasher films, I can't sleep. Like I'm scared. I can't go in water because Jason will get me. I can't fall asleep. Freddy's gonna get me. Like it's just terrifying. But the newer stuff, I don't get like it's got to be really good for the newer stuff to scare me because anytime it's realistic, I am not as scared because I'm like, well, it's real. I can try to fight it. Like
Yeah.
if it's a real person who's evil, I at least can attempt to fight it. But when it's like somebody coming back from the dead 80 times and gets you in your sleep, like you can't fight that. How do you fight that? Please tell me. I don't know. So
Mm.
it's terrifying. All the old stuff I think is scarier.
Have you ever seen The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix?
Yes, I loved that.
Yeah.
I didn't see so The Haunting of Hill House.
That was the first
Yeah.
one. They did a second one.
The
Yeah,
second
I
one
didn't
I
watch the
just
second one.
started.
Oh, you
I
did?
only watched like 2 episodes of the second one so far, but the first one, that was awesome and creepy and the twist. And I thought they did such a good job with that. Like I was shocked by the end of it.
A couple of
Yeah.
really good twists, wasn't it?
Really,
Mm.
really good ones. If you like ghost, scary stuff, go check
Very
that
well
out because
crafted
that
as
was
well.
good. Yeah, very.
Pelumbra, question for Katie. Do you think Mia could be a playable character at any point? Greetings from Argentina.
Ooh, Argentina. Hello, hello. I mean, in seven, she is playable. So the third half of the game, when she's in the ship, you get to play her the whole time, pretty much. So, it'd be great if she was, but at the same time, on the acting side and the motion capture side, when you're the playable character, it's just your voice and your hands.
It's not as fun, is it?
So it's different. Like I like getting to do crazy stuff with my face.
No, 100%. Justin, Katie, you played Mia so well. You're so talented. Can't wait to see you again in RE9. What about me, Justin? I'm here too, all right? You guys? I'm
Oh, you're
all right.
pretty too. Come on now.
What other character would you love to have played in Resident Evil 8 Village if it wasn't Mia? Who would you have picked?
Oh, Lady D, for sure. Oh my gosh. Talk about like Maggie played her so phenomenally well. But just the poshness and the just that villain and then getting to just be larger than life. I think that's, yeah, to me that would be amazing. And getting to do that voice. There's something about doing like a posh voice that's so much fun when you're evil. It reminds me of like the Evil Queen or Cruella de Vil. Again, Disney kid. So it reminds me of just bringing that poshness.
Bit of power. Yeah, a bit of presence. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, she's 9'6", but just the way she walks into a room and just commands everything. I think anybody would love to have that power.
That's why I got to give you props. There's so many larger than life characters, and you just nail it. You stand out. You really are.
Thank you.
You knock it out of the park.
Thank you very much.
After defeating Heisenberg, Mother Miranda. Okay, spoilers, guys.
Spoilers.
Mother Miranda and Mia switched during the cut. Oh, yeah. So they switched during the cutscene. How the heck did you pull that off, you and Michelle?
It was doing like breaking up the scene. So that's basically on the acting side. Like we shoot those scenes, we go through stuff, and then they're going to take all of that footage, all that information, and then on the animation side, on the computer side, on that side is when they're going to piece it all together.
Yeah, so it's just two separate takes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and from what I remember, we did overlap so that they could piece it how they wanted. So like, my scene I did, and I went a little further into Mother Miranda's scene, and then she started earlier to go into than her, so that they had overlap to decide voice wise and motion wise, like what they would want to do and use. But if you watch that scene, you also notice it's not like she morphs person to person in front of you. Usually like she goes behind a tree, or she turns into like crows or like craziness. So
you don't ever see her transform into someone, I don't think. Yeah.
Not like right in front of your face.
In front of you, yeah.
But then again, I still haven't played or seen the whole game.
No,
so
you
maybe
don't.
I'm missing.
You don't. I've played it about 200 times, so I would know. I would know. So in that scene, is Michelle with you? And I think Carol plays the hag. Is she there as well, or what?
So we did shoot that during COVID times. So it was broken up more, like time-wise, so that a lot of people weren't together on set. So when I was there, I did get to meet her. We had a little overlap. So like she was finishing up shooting her stuff, and then she was done for the day. And then I came in with Ethan and we shot our stuff. Michelle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did get to meet her. Very sweet. Very, very nice. Again, another one that it's like in person, you're like, oh, she's so sweet. She's so nice. And then all of a sudden she becomes this, other character. You're like, oh, hi. Okay.
You got that in you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool. And, they did such a good job making all of us feel comfortable during that time to get this game worked on and out in time for all the fans and everything. So I was just kind of blown away on their side, everything they did and pieced together to make everything doable.
And that's with Steve, the director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was
He
he
was
did he work
there.
on Seven?
No,
No, he worked on
no.
another Resident Evil, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the wrong one,
I
but it
think it
was one
was
of the
three
remakes. I think
remake.
it was the 3 remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So they brought him. He was great. He was great. My first time working with him.
Nice. Frozen
Yeah.
Ozone. Katie, what was your favorite scene to shoot on both projects? And was this experience really a life changer for you, wanting to be in horror franchises more?
Yeah, it's definitely life changing because I had never done motion capture. I'd never been involved in video games or this world. And even voiceover, I'd done little stuff here and there, but never anything this to this scale. So for me, it kind of took my whole idea of this industry and just opened it up even more. I had
Mm.
done theater, I had done film, I know about animation, but like I just had never dipped my toe into it. So this really opened up my eyes to there is so much more that I can do, that I can be a part of, that I can try, that I can audition for. So that was great in that aspect. And then, I mean, like we said before, scene wise, Seven, chainsawing my husband's hand off because what wife doesn't want to do that every once in a while. And in 8, uh, there are so many good ones, but again, I think the final scene with Chris was my
On the
favorite.
on
It
the
was,
chopper plane.
yep, yeah,
Yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
was
It's emotional.
heartbreaking, but very, very emotional. Um, I also, until I got that scene, I didn't get that scene, and I can't remember how early I got it, but I didn't get it super early, so I didn't know that that's the way it was going to go. So,
So when you read that on the page, are you getting a little bit nervous? Like I've got to pull this off. Are you anticipating that day of shooting, or what?
not too much.
Mm.
It's definitely like a shock the first time like you get your scenes, especially if the scenes are something drastic or something you don't expect.
Oh,
So it's like when I first got the Chris kills Mia, it was like, what? So I always get it, and I don't, memorize it, work on it in my head, but I don't do too much because it's like when I get there, things adjust. Things are going to change, or I'm given new insight as to, you know, maybe that wasn't like what you read isn't actually how it's going to go. And so you get on set and things are tweaked. So it's not till you're on set and you're actually doing it that all of that starts to build up. And for that scene, it was pretty easy the moment we started shooting it and just saying the lines and knowing what happened. Like I even like I get all like goosebumpy and like I like feel it in my heart when I talk about it because it's just like
oh, that's
so
sweet.
it yeah. I mean, anybody who's gotten through to the end, just that ending is like it just hurts.
So
It just
you've
hurts.
watched it back on YouTube
Yeah, I did get to
on the
see
day of
that
release.
that scene. I 100% teared up.
Did ya?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in front of
Yeah.
your phone or computer, just tearing up.
It was my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "So somebody online made a cut of my scenes and I made him watch it and he's like next to me and I'm getting all teary-eyed. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, it's like I couldn't even talk."
What does he think of you being in this game, and what do your brothers think? They must be so proud.
Yeah, like they all think it's really cool. My husband's just kind of blown away by all of it.
Mm.
My brothers, I didn't come from a big gaming family, so like my brothers think it's cool, but don't know a ton about it. But they have friends who keep telling them like, "Oh my God, that's your sister!" So that's kind of cool.
That's
Being
cool.
from a huge family, I'm one of 6 kids, so like when your
Oh wow.
siblings are coming to you being like, oh, so and so told me like they just played, they were freaking out, or like I came to visit and they wanted to meet me. I think it's a realization in my family's eyes of like, oh, this is really her job. Like this is what she does for a living.
Yeah, it almost sounds surreal, doesn't it, to some people?
It does. I think it's surreal sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. James says, "Love you, Katie. Can we please get a what the hell is going on?"
Oh, I got to think of like, how many times does she say that? I feel like she says that a couple of times. This one she gets so much. I always have to giggle a little bit because there is this switch over of like
Yeah,
me and Mia.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So you get what the hell is going on?
Oh my goodness, I'm being transported right now. That was brilliant. Noah, what was your favorite part to film? I think we mentioned that before. Thank you,
Yeah.
Noah. How involved were you with the games? Have you played them before you acted in the past too, or did they just reach out to you? I think we mentioned that as well. You haven't played.
Yeah.
Have you played Seven?
So I have started it. I so when it first came out, I played it. I started to play it regular.
Yeah.
I I got to Jack in the Garage and just couldn't get past it. And then a couple months ago, I think I have clips on my Instagram, but a couple months ago, a friend of mine had got the VR. So I put that on and
Did you?
played
I
it.
haven't seen this. I've got to check that out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it again and like record more of it because it was pretty funny. There's just little clips, but I got to where Mia comes up the stairs and scares the crap out of you.
Oh,
And
that got me, that
yeah,
jump scare.
I I shot the scene. I knew what was coming, and I still screamed through the remote control and fell to the ground and just started yelling, "Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me!" I was just like, and I could, because I can't see anything. I just see Mia coming at me, and I'm like, "Stop, stop. I don't know what to do." And I had thrown the remote. I mean, it went flying, and my friend like got it into my hands and was just like, "Press this button." I was like, "I don't know." So it was bad.
Was
It
that
was
your
really
first time
bad.
doing VR? Because it's
Oh,
really great.
yeah,
Really, yeah.
that was the first time. You disappear into it.
Isn't it
I
crazy?
I put that headset on and it was light outside, and by the time I took it off, it was dark. I was
Mm.
like, I was like, I felt like I was in there for 15 minutes, and my friends were watching, and they're like, "No, it's been 2 hours." It's like, what?
The only thing for me is I get a little bit motion sickness after a
Yeah,
while. Are you the
that's
same or
why I
what?
took it off.
Yeah,
It's you definitely have to break it up.
yeah.
And of course, I was on like the easiest level possible, and I still was terrible at it. Like terrible. They had to put, I was in my living room and they had to put like a yoga mat on the ground so I could feel under my feet if I was like moving too much or if I was like turning around. Cause there were points like you start looking and you don't realize your entire body is just turning somewhere else. You completely lose track of
Oh, you
like,
lose track. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you take it off, you're
yeah, like,
looking at the people on the couch. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that was pretty weird.
Was that PSVR? PlayStation
uh,
VR or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that was, yeah. Cause I have a 4. So, you know,
PS4? Ooh, you
I
need
have
a
a 4.
PS5, eh?
Oh no.
Nightblood here says the ending to RE8 made me cry so much it hurt. I loved it because it showed how far Ethan will go for his family.
I know. I'm with you.
Don't make her cry, guys. Come on.
I know. I'm like, imagine shooting the scene. Like, oh,
What was
yeah.
your reaction to Lady D and the fan reception to that
Oh my
character?
God.
Crazy.
Insane. So proud. So proud at just how excited and how much it brought everything in. Also, I want to cosplay that. Like, holy, it's such a cool. I've seen some of the cosplays out there. Amazing. Um, but yeah, it made me a little bit like, oh man, I wish my character had cooler like outfits to play. Like I'm wearing a grandma sweater in 8, like the whole time, like a floral shirt and a grandma sweater.
But
Um,
that's what I mean. That's why it's so good. Your performance, you stand out in a crowd with all these villains. That's why I'm saying, congrats,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you. Yeah. So I've had a couple of people
Uh,
ask if I'm going to cosplay Mia from this game because I cosplayed Infected Mia from 7.
mm.
So I was like, well, I mean, I already own like a big baggy grandma sweater. So I'm sure I could easily pull together a costume.
Just if you just get a baby now, you're pretty close, eh?
Yeah. I just need a nice baby doll. I'm sure I have a floral shirt somewhere. Just throw some dirt on me. I'm good to go. Good to go.
Hey, Katie, am I the only one who thinks Neil Newbon is, as Heisenberg, is the funniest and greatest voice ever?
Uh, I don't think you're the only one. I think there's a lot of people out there who think that. Big shout out to Neil. Big shout out to everybody. I know, like in the next, I'd say like 2 weeks, there's lots of like signings and stuff going
Have you got
on
one
like all
coming up
different.
that we can promote?
Um, I my Streamily shop is open right now for any autographs. Most likely because I just did a signing earlier this month, so I'll probably do another one in June.
Nice.
So I'll have another one in June. But a lot of the other actors are doing signings and live streamings like in the next week and two. So go to all their accounts and you get to hear Neil's voice again.
Well, I'm sure you're going to pop up in some of these in streams and
Yeah,
podcasts,
yeah.
and
And that's
uh,
what's fun. We're always hitting each other up like now it's like most of us are vaxxed. We're like, hey, you want to come over and do a live stream? We can actually do it in the same place. Like, so cool.
yeah, because you're all in LA, hey? Yeah,
Yeah, most of us. There's only, I think, a handful that aren't. So it's really nice.
yeah. Thank you so much, Jarav, for that. Sleepy, what was the scariest part of 7 for you?
Um, I think I think it was just the physicality of a lot of stuff was kind
Mm,
of for me worrisome. Like, am I going to do it right? You know, when we would try out a lot of different things for scenes. So I think that physicality of like, okay, now you're going to be like crawling up these stairs like a crazy zombie person, or how you're going to flip up this way and throw somebody across the stage. So that stuff was kind of nerve wracking of
mm.
hoping that like this is what they want, like doing it how I wanted to do it, and then hoping that Capcom and the Japanese and then the director, like everybody came together and we're like, yes, that's what we want, or try it this way. So I think on the acting side, that's what was a little nerve wracking for the first go around of getting used to motion capture was, am I doing it right? Are we getting everything we need?
Have you seen the other language version, like the other languages of Mia before?
I have not.
Oh,
I actually the Japanese voice over artist. We follow each other on Twitter, so she was really
Akira
sweet.
Higuchi.
Yes.
Am I right? I hope I'm not butchering it. Uh,
I would say, yeah, last names are a little tough. But she's on Twitter and we follow each other. And she was really sweet, reached out, and that was really, really cool to meet her. And then I know there's the Argentina and Brazil audience. I think this is the first time I want to say Portuguese is being in the game, I think
you
is
got
what I read.
Spanish, Portuguese. You've got Japanese, French,
Yeah.
German. There's a few.
Mhm.
There's a few. There's about
Yeah, I
8.
kind of actually
Yeah.
feel bad for them because it's like they're like voice actors, it's what we're supposed to do, but still, anytime I'm doing all the crazy stuff and they're supposed to match me or
Yeah.
my vibe or whatever. Like I kind of feel bad sometimes, especially in 7. I was all over the place in 7. So I was like, wow, they're talented because they're I know what they have to try to do and match and whew,
And they go,
not
yeah, they
easy,
don't get the mocap. They just have to voice that, I'm guessing, yeah.
which is hard. It's hard just to do the
Oh
voice.
yeah.
I
Dubbing
give
and that sort
props
of thing,
to
yeah.
everybody who is just doing voice and like
Mm,
they didn't do the motion with it. Like to me it's so much harder to do just the voice, to
mm,
get your level up to whatever was happening on set.
mhm.
I give such props to people who do just the voices for stuff because it takes work.
Oh, 100%. Um, Drav, amazing job on the voice of Mia and motion capture. Can we get a nothing wrong with my memory in a funny way? I'm sorry, I'm giving you all these requests here. They keep coming in.
No worries. Well, I'm so used to getting requests for 7 stuff, and now I'm like, oh
Okay.
wait,
And
now
now
there's
you
all
got
these
eight. Yeah,
lines from
yeah,
8 that people like.
yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with
Wait,
my memory.
wait. So he wants there's nothing wrong with
But
my
in a
memory,
funny
but in a
way.
funny way.
Yeah, okay, that's a tough one. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but
Like, what's funny about it? Just put me on the spot here, why don't you? I guess it would be
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
there's nothing wrong with my memory.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Just leave it like that. I mean,
Oh, that was a little bit crazy in there. A little bit
that's
of
just
a
creepy. You could go
yeah.
full Disney princess. Well, hello there. There's nothing wrong with my memory.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad. I like that.
They don't sound
If
anything like Mia.
no, but if you go too happy, it becomes creepy. You're right.
That's very true. That is very true.
How did you
Yeah.
do the possessed voice? Was that a tough thing to do from Duke?
From 7,
From seven.
no,
From seven, yeah.
yeah, from 7. No, that was actually the easiest.
Mm.
Because as weird as it is, because that's what I originally auditioned for. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why I got the role was from the possessed voice, the possessed noises and screams and growls, everything I was able to do with my voice. And not hurt it, because that's one of the biggest things is you have to be so careful when you're doing extreme voices not to actually hurt your voice while doing them for hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
So possessed Mia, she just kind of came out of something that I've always kind of done and had. Like I've been in a lot of like zombie type roles. So I always had a little bit of that creepy, like gravelly sound to my voice. And in my mind, it was just bringing in that with a little bit of like Wicked Witch of the West and kind of melding the two.
Yeah. Love it. We've got a new nickname for you here that I don't know
Oh,
if you've heard before. Katie
what?
O'Hagan's initials are KO. I guess that
Yep.
means she's a knockout.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Have you heard that one before?
I have only
Oh,
because
okay.
well, not like that people are saying it. I grew up knowing that because my dad is TKO, which is total
Oh,
knockout.
nice. That's
And
cool.
then I'm KTO. So I was like, okay, get rid of the T and I'll just be knockout. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Jay, what was the fan reaction and love for Mia like to receive as she's a bit of a mystery?
Yeah. I I'm still blown away by it. Like I'm still very blown away by everything, all the love, everything people are saying, the love and the hate. Like
Hold on,
I
you
get
get
it.
hate?
I don't personally, but like
Okay.
like I see people being like, I hate Mia. Like she caused everything. She's
Oh,
such a
yeah, but that's
pain.
all. That's all right. That's not hating on you, I guess. You know.
And like I don't get it. Like everybody's been incredibly kind and sweet. But at the same time, like when I first shot 7, in my mind, I thought everyone was going to hate Mia. Like, I love her because I got to do a lot of crazy stuff, but I was like, she's psycho. She's like, her husband's trying to save her, and she's like, what are you doing here? Leave. I'm going to chop off your hand. I'm going to fight you. Now I'm going to do that. Like, it just, in my mind, I was like, no one is going to like this person. Like, how am I going to make her likable? Like, I was very nervous. I was very scared, but as an actor, I was like, this is really cool because this is definitely going to be a challenge to get people to care about someone who did all this. So that was kind of my biggest challenge. And you guys tell me, it sounds like it worked. It sounds like people cared about her.
And Jay also says, have you spoken to Todd about how he feels about the fans and the reception?
Oh, I know a lot of people are asking about him, and a lot of people, want to see from him and hear from him. He is private. I don't know what his plans are, but I have talked to him just about the fans and the welcoming and how great everybody is, and he is on social media here and there. So he's been on Twitter. I know
I've seen him respond to people on Twitter.
Yeah, like he's been answering fans on Twitter. So he's definitely out there, but he's like the rest of us, just kind of blown away by it, shocked, like definitely shocked at how welcoming everybody's been,
a great community
and how kind.
For the most part, isn't it?
What was that?
It's a great community for the most part, isn't it? Resident Evil fans.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't believe how vast it was, and how welcoming and how excited everybody is. I mean, from the first trailer of 8, like the amount of questions I was getting before I could even say I was a part of it.
Yeah.
That was hard. That was very hard to have to just not respond to people. I was like, don't hate me. I'm not mean. I
mean, it's weird that you can't say you're in it because you can hear your voice in the trailer and we know it's you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's you. Like, I don't know.
At the same time, some people were not sure. Like, there were definitely people out there going,
I knew it was you.
Is that the same person? Is that me? Wait, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same one. She sounds different. So
and you're under these NDAs, you got to be careful, don't you?
Yeah, but at the same time, it creates such like excitement and suspense for everything that I get it. I totally get it. Like, this game, I feel like this game kind of blew people's minds. Like, once it got out there and people could play it, I feel like a lot of people were like, I did not realize what this game was going to be. So I think ultimately Capcom knows what they're doing.
And and you would have seen that the sales have just been crazy so far. Huge sales.
I heard. Yeah, that's crazy. I got to get me a copy.
Thank you so much for answering my question. This is Frozen Ozone. I'm looking forward to any future projects that you'll be working on.
Yeah, I mean, always putting it out there. Always, again, social media is the quickest way you're gonna find anything that I've done or am doing or that's coming out. So
links in the description. Hi, I'm from South Africa, Katie. Loved your work in Resident Evil. It was amazing. How is your South African accent?
No. I'm good at accents when I hear them. So usually, like, if somebody talks to me for a little bit, I can maybe mimic them. But yeah, I'm not even going to attempt because that would go possibly viral in a bad way. And you never want that. I don't need to ruin accents for people.
No. Genji, Ethan and Mia felt like Resident Evil's answer to James and Angel from Silent Hill in some ways. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I did see I've never, I heard about Silent Hill, the video game. I've never played it though. But I did see a lot of comparisons. Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah. Thank you, George Patton. You didn't leave a question, but please get one through. Big Daddy Cool. Do you think Mia will ever meet Jill from Resident Evil 3? And how do you think that would go? Obviously, that's Nicole Tompkins.
I mean, I've met Nicole.
It's happened before, yeah.
She's awesome. Um, yeah, I don't,
You never
it'd
know.
be interesting because I feel like Jill, I mean, Jill has a bit more of a background
Yeah.
with things. Mia, you got to remember Mia was, normal, even though she was working for this crappy company. She
She
was
doesn't
kind of
have
like a,
powers, or she's not trained in anything, or yeah.
yeah, she doesn't really have that background. And who
Yeah.
knows, what then happened to her after seven, like in between seven and eight, like who knows in that we see that Ethan got training. They don't really touch on if Mia did. I think she should have. I mean, that would only be fair, but she did have a new child to take care of. So
I really hope we get to see more of you in 9. I'm almost certain you're going to be in it. There's no doubt. So,
knock on wood, don't jinx.
okay, I won't jinx it, but I tell you what, like, how could you not be in it after that ending?
There you go. There you go.
Barbara, Katie, totally loved your work. We love Mia. And losing every part of the body in every game just to save her, it's worth it. I love you. Much love
Oh,
from Brazil.
oh, thank you. Yeah, Ethan loses a lot.
Chris Redfield in the chat says, have you ever read for any other characters?
I have, yeah. It was actually pretty cool. So I think Sarah might have mentioned this, but they did ask a couple of us to read for just different characters within 8 to kind of see. So whether it be villagers or Lady D's daughters. So I do remember sending in an audition for the daughters.
Really?
Yeah, it was cool. It's just
Nice.
fun for them to open things up because as voice actors, like, you should be
Yeah.
able to do multiple things. So it's really cool. Ultimately, I mean, everybody who got cast just freaking nailed it. But getting to do the audition was fun because I got a little piece and to see these crazy other characters. So I was like, oh my God, what is this going to be?
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
wasn't tall enough for Lady D. I would have liked that one, but I don't think I was
Nah.
tall enough.
Yeah, I think Maggie's over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony here says, you scared me into game.
Ooh,
I
well,
think he's talking about
good.
7. I think he's talking about
Yeah.
7.
That was my job. I'm glad I did my job.
Julie, since you voice a character in a video game, I have to ask, do you like watching horror movies? We mentioned that
Yep.
before. We love horror
Absolutely.
movies.
Love.
I always got the impression from the flashbacks in 7 that Mia was already pretty well trained at murdering mold monsters to keep Evie under control.
I've
Okay.
never thought about that.
Right.
That's smart. I mean, yeah, it's very true. It's that definitely makes more sense. I feel like, if they're going to put you in charge of this crazy thing, even if you're the babysitter, you're going to have a little training, at least know how to use a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You would hope.
Freddie, what's it like having to put the narrative together through bits of the script? So, because you get it in sections, I guess. Is that tough trying to get the whole scope of the story while
Um,
performing?
like when you first get it, yes.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, like when you first get it and you're just memorizing your lines, it is. But I feel like that's a lot of times with, television, film,
Mm.
anything. Because ultimately, once we're on set working things out, like there's rehearsals, there's table reads, there's, the actual working on the scenes with the director. So you are getting it pulled together
Yeah.
at some point. It's just, you know, you're getting it pulled together in sections. So it's like, this section all makes sense. And then X amount of months later, it's the next section. And then it's like, oh, now this makes sense connected to that. So it just doesn't come all at the same time. It ultimately comes just in these little groupings as you go along.
And you can
So,
obviously ask questions to the guys
yeah,
at Capcom and they'll answer anything you've got.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Blessed. Katie, will you ever do a live stream of Resident Evil 7 in VR?
I do want to. I want to practice a little more first so that you guys don't have to sit through 80 hours of me screaming, going, why won't I go? How do I jump? How do I do like because I don't know anything. So I'm still learning how to do everything. And then once I have a better understanding of the controls and what to do, then I will attempt a VR live stream.
Geez, that even I would struggle to put a VR live stream together. There's some setup there involved
Yeah, I would need
with a
help.
tech.
I would definitely be talking to a friend who's more on the technical side.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like if
Jigglypuff.
I'm getting motion sickness, anybody who's watching it will be getting motion sickness. So
Well,
it
you
would
got
be
to, yeah,
difficult.
you'd have to have the gameplay and you as well, the two.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jigglypuff, does Capcom spoil it for you when they give you the script and explain it, the character development? Or yeah, pretty much. That's the question. I've probably butchered it, but
No
as
worries.
always,
No, I mean, I don't think they spoil it because you're getting it in pieces.
yeah,
So even though what you're working on all makes sense, like that ultimate story, you know, they're still pulling things in. And even once you read everything, by the time it actually gets to shooting, a lot of times stuff has been adjusted, stuff has been slightly changed or tweaked. So I feel like there's always surprises. Like by the time I shot my final scene with Chris, I was shocked. Like I did not know that was going to be the ending.
is it is
So
it is it? Did anything change the fact that you're a mother in the second game in the latest game for
I
you?
mean, I think personally Mia matured. I mean,
Yeah,
when you see how she acts and how she responds to things in seven, it was very selfish. And by the end of seven, I felt like she had a better understanding and wasn't as selfish, but it still was there. Whereas in eight, I feel like it was just about protection. It was just about protecting her family and having that happy life. So I saw a bit more maturity, and I also saw more of a love for Ethan in eight versus seven because she had that kind of immature, selfish vibe to her. She cared about him, she loved him, but she still lied to him. She still hid things from him. And I just, yeah, I feel like she did it for her own reasons in seven, and then she did it for the family in eight, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a couple more because I know you're a busy woman, but we really
No
do.
worries.
We appreciate your time very much.
Of course. This is awesome.
Daniela says, any advice for people wanting to do voiceover or mocap? Where do we start?
I mean, a lot of you are like me. I had never done it. I was doing acting, but I had never done anything in this world and just kind of saw a casting call and went
Mm.
for it. So I think my number one advice is just go for it. So if anything comes up, like if you're in the world and you're can see casting calls and things, go for it. But if you're not in it and you're like just wanting to start, there are classes.
Mm.
There's tons of motion capture classes and stunt classes that you can do on that side, which are incredible. Same with voiceover. There are lots of classes you can take for voiceover. So I would say do your research depending on where you live and get into classes, learn about physicality. The biggest thing with motion capture is knowing your own body. And that's something I thought I was
What do
good
you
at.
mean? What do you mean by that?
So everything you do with motion capture, I mean, the cameras are picking up every nuance, every movement. So a lot of times in a game, there are those moments where a character is like waiting for basically the player. So you'll see them idling. And we actually have to do that stuff. So like we'll be in a scene and we'll go and take a few steps and then we kind of idle. And it's like this little movement of back and forth, just waiting or turning and looking. You know, we have to do that
Do you ever
stuff.
have to do this one? The
The
T
T,
pose?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
T pose, A pose, Z pose,
Really? What's the
all of
A?
them.
What's the A pose?
I think A was like basically slightly down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the Z
So,
pose?
uh, it's so bad, but I think it was, let's see if I can tilt it here. It's like that, kind of like a doll.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think it's called Z.
Okay.
It's so bad. My mind is like, yeah, crazy. Um, but yeah, so when we would do stuff, they have to loop you sometimes. So after a scene, you would take two steps and then they can loop it. Or um, you have to turn this way back and then the other way and back so that they can get an equal way. And then they can take care on the animation side of what they want the character to ultimately do, which is really cool. So, like on my side, they just told me, okay, stand here and now turn 180 this way, turn 180 that way.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that, like, I am more closed off on one side than the other. So, like, you have to know your
Ah,
body
okay.
to
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
have things be equal. So it's like you're taking a big step this way, you're also taking a big one this way. And I did it. And the director was actually like, do you realize that, like, you open way up this way? And when you do it this way, it's like, dude, like really tight and tiny. And I had no idea. And it was having that realization of like, oh, I have to pay more attention to my body, my physical, how I move and what I do and when I stop and when I go, and even your face, like eyebrows, one up, the other one up, face, like there's so much involved. It's mind blowing, like
Oh,
just mind blowing.
it's crazy, but it'd be so
Yeah.
fun. It'd be so
Oh,
fun.
so fun. So fun.
So fun. Verified Zay says, "Do you have a YouTube channel, Katie?"
I do not. No
Oh,
YouTube channel. I know. I don't.
IG and Twitter.
I'm yeah, IG, Twitter, Facebook. I'm looking at Twitch because more people are talking about it, and I am doing more live streams. So, um, probably gonna end up on a Twitter feed soon. Or Twitch. Sorry, Twitch. That's what I meant. Can't even get them right. Twitch.
uh,
So
that'd be cool.
working on that stuff. But for
Yeah.
now, yeah, for now it's IG live. It's usually what I'm on.
Yep.
Yep.
Irwi says, Katie, what would you say is the hardest part of being an actor?
Ooh, the rejection. Getting
Yeah.
used to the rejection. You know you're cut out for it when, even though you're getting that rejection, you just keep doing it because you know what it's like once you get that role. Once you get that job, it just makes everything. You're like, this is why I do this. Like, I
Like
love
you're
this.
willing
This
to get 50 rejections for the one big. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And that's usually what it is. You get a lot of no's before a yes. And so, like, I just tell people, if this is truly what you want to do, rejection is okay. Like, just keep working, keep doing what you're doing, keep enjoying what you're doing, and do stuff on your own, do content on your own. Like, I do a lot of photo shoots, I do a lot of short films, I started doing special effects makeup. I just found other things to fulfill me at the same time, so that, if I'm not booking something, I have these other things I can be working on that are still
Yep.
all within this industry, all within this creative side of the industry. So, yeah, it's hard, but you just keep doing it. Keep doing it because it's worth it. This makes it worth it. The fans, the excitement, the love, like, it's awesome.
I don't want to make you blush, but people are saying your eyes are beautiful, pretty much.
Oh, thank you guys.
KR says Mia rules, great performance. RJ Adams says I freaking love Mia.
Oh,
Mythic says Mia's my girl. Vinsta says what's your Twitch? I don't think it's created yet, but look out for it.
it's not created yet, but I'll let you know.
Uh, Jack says how much time in advance did you get to prep for for Mia in this game?
um,
In this game.
for this game,
Mm.
oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think, I mean, I knew. in early 2019 is when I got the call that they were bringing her back. So I got the phone call early 2019 and I started
Early
shooting.
2019. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's when I got the call that she was still alive and was coming back. She was officially still alive and coming
Do you
back.
jump up in the couch at that? You know the Tom Cruise. Who's
Yeah,
jump? Is that you?
I was actually on set. We had a break when I got the call. And the producer left me a voicemail. So I called him back right away because I was like, what is this? What is this? So I was shooting a short film and I like stepped away to make the phone call to see what exactly the call was about. And they told me, hey, so she's coming back. We don't know how much she's coming back for this game, but they are bringing her back. Are you interested? And of course, I was like, yes, send me anything. Yes. So yeah, I was super, super excited.
You don't go, oh guys, look, I need you to pay me double, and then I might think about it.
Yeah, no, I was way too excited. I couldn't even fake that. I was way too excited.
Well, Katie,
There was no negotiating or playing around. It was just like, yeah. And then my agent was, don't say yes right away. I was like, too late. Already did. Don't
That's
care what you're
good.
saying. Like, I want to do this.
I
We're
love
doing
that you're
this.
passionate about it and you love it because there's nothing worse than having an actor that just doesn't really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Which
mean,
is more
I'm lucky
happens
enough
more
to
than you
do
think.
this.
It really does.
Really?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
shocks me just because I'm like, I just feel lucky that like I get to do this. This is
yeah.
the coolest thing ever. To be in the games, to do this as a job, to talk to you, to talk to all the fans. Like to me, it just blows me away. Like it's just fun.
Well, we've had over 100,000 join today, and we were in competition with all the Demetrisk family. They were streaming as well.
Oh yeah,
So you
that's
and me,
right.
we're too good. You know
Woohoo!
what I mean? Just quickly, RJ says, um, can you do a quick scene from the part of the beginning or the end of Village? That's all right, RJ. We'll get something at the end here. Katie, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I hope you've had a
Of
blast.
course. I'm so glad you reached out. This is awesome.
And anything you want to say to the fans? Well, we've
Oh,
got you.
I know. I'm like, I mean, I say this over and over again, but just thank you to everyone for loving this game, for keeping this game alive, like the whole series, and for just like welcoming me as a new character with 7 and 8 into this whole community because it is amazing. Everyone is so kind and welcoming and fun. You make me want to do this stuff. That's why I love doing interviews. I love answering questions. I love doing live streams. And it's because of all of you. You make this worth it. So thank you guys. And I'm going to keep, as long as you guys keep wanting it, I'm going to keep doing it. So
Jason,
thank you.
love you. Just Vincent, love you, Katie. Kevs, don't go, Katie. Summoner, love you, Katie. We love you. Thanks, Katie. Hasim, we love you. Finish the game. It's a masterpiece. We love you. Thank you, Katie. You're awesome. All right, guys. Send over all this love to her on our IG, which is Katie O Axe.
Yep.
Twitter, Katie O Axe.
All of them. Yeah.
Are you anywhere else that I'm missing?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. For people who still use it.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
It's mainly for like the much older, like my mom and dad.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, isn't
yeah,
it?
my
It really
in-laws,
is.
they're all on Facebook. So I gotta give the love out there too.
Yeah, I checked my Facebook page and I had 9,000. I don't know how. I don't do anything on there, but there you go.
You just link them. You just do a quick link.
Yeah. All right, Katie. Well, before you go, is there anything Mia can say to Dan just quickly?
Am I allowed to swear?
You can swear. You can call me anything you want. Go for it.
All right. It's okay, Dan. I know you didn't mean to hurt me, but you shouldn't have done that. It fucking hurt.
How can you smile like that so nicely after that? What's wrong with you, Katie? How could you? Oh, the chat's going off now after that. Oh, far out. Brilliant. You can't round it off better than that. Far out. All right, guys, make sure you follow Katie on all socials, and we'll definitely have you back at some point, Katie, if you'll
For
come
sure.
back.
And head over to the Streamily site. Myself, along with a bunch of the other RE actors, all have prints and personal messages and craziness all up there for you guys. So go check them out.
Get one from this woman, guys. All right. Thank you so much, Katie. We'll talk soon. I really appreciate your time.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dan. It was awesome meeting you.
Awesome meeting you too. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Whoops, I cut her off a bit early there, but she said bye. You know. How good was that ending, guys? That was brilliant. I did not expect that at all. I did not expect that at all. Oh my god. How good was that ending? Ex-Carbon, how are you, brother? Oh man, she's awesome. She is. How good is this cast, guys? Really? I mean, we're spoiled. Every single person in this cast is a banger of a person. That was so good, that ending. I'm gonna have such